Xin Chao, fellow adventurers. Welcome back to our travel haven. Now, if you've watched our last video, you know we recently explored the wonders of Halong Bay aboard the Paradise Sails cruise. It was a symphony of experiences from cave explorations to sunset serenades, but now it's time to peel back the curtain and share the nitty-gritty. Join me for an honest review of the Paradise Sails cruise, the costs, the inclusions, and the ultimate question, was it worth it? But hey, before we dive in, if you're as passionate as travel and real estate as we are, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our global community. All right, let's sail right into the review. Picture this, Halong Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, draped in mist and mystery. We sailed its turquoise waters aboard the Paradise Explorer. In our previous video, we explored 5 incredible things to do. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna link it up in that corner right there. Make sure you watch that video next. Now let's break down the voyage itself. So grab a seat, or better yet, a life vest, as we navigate through the costs, the perks, and the soul of the Paradise Sails cruise. The brochure might paint a beautiful picture, but what was the real deal? Let me talk a little bit about what was included. This cruise was a 2-day, 1-night adventure, and we had to get to a hotel in Halong Bay at 10 o'clock in the morning. The cruise ended up taking off at 12 o'clock. From the hotel, they put us in a private golf cart to the dock so that we can dock onto the ship. Once we got onto the ship, it was time for an orientation. They went over exactly what we're gonna be doing on this cruise, what's included, and some safety precautions for the cruise. And then as we set sail into Halong Bay, we got an amazing lunch. Oh my gosh, this food was amazing. And the service was amazing as well. What wasn't included when you had dinner at the restaurant was any drinks. So they do give you water in your room, 2 bottles per day. But if you go exceed that, or if you go and buy water up at the restaurant, you will have to pay. The way that the boat was situated was that there was 4 different levels. The first and second level was just a bunch of rooms, so there really wasn't anything there except for the rooms. The first floor had no balconies, so those were probably more budget rooms. We opted for a second floor, which was a balcony. Highly recommend you get a balcony because you'll be able to step outside in your room and see beautiful sights to see. The third floor was the restaurant and the kitchen, and then if you go up outside, you end up on the sky deck, which is the 4th floor. And this is just open. It's not like an actual floor. It's really just a sun deck. Anyway, those are the 4 levels of the cruise, and essentially what was included was a bunch of excursions. After lunchtime, we already went on our first excursion to T-Top Island, which again, I review and share some experiences in my previous video. So if you haven't, make sure you go watch that. And after we go exploring to an island, we end up going back for dinner. After doing the T-Top Island for that first adventure, we ended up going on a second adventure on that first day. The second adventure that we went on was Luang Cave, which was really cool. We pretty much just went through this cave on a smaller boat that was paddled by a human, and all our amazing rock sites. We even saw a monkey, which was super awesome. And it was just really cool to jam pack like 2 different events in one day. And they even had a smaller boat connected to our big cruise that would take us to these adventures because the cruise ship couldn't get too close to where we were going. After the 2 adventures, the sun started going down, and after dinner, they teach us how to make spring rolls, and we get to enjoy some. And then at the end, for that night, there was a happy hour, which was buy one, get one free drinks on the sun deck. So as the sun was coming down, you were watching this beautiful sunset overlooking all of Halong Bay, and you got to have buy one, get one free drinks, which is really cool. Those are not included inside the trip. You're going to have to buy those, which you just need to tell them your room number, and then at the end of the trip, you end up consolidating all your bills. Now, waking up into the second day, we end up going on one more adventure before docking back at 10 a.m. So realistically, this whole adventure is less than 24 hours. It's 22 hours. You leave at 12, have the night, and then you come back at 10 a.m. the next day. Awesome thing, as we go into the next morning, if you have a balcony, I highly recommend you go out on your balcony, you check out the sunrise. What a crazy experience it was, because they told us at the orientation specifically about these women who will come in these small little boats and come up to your balcony and try to get you to buy something. And I felt so bad because they're just trying to hustle, but it was illegal to go buy stuff from them because apparently these people are contributing to a lot of the trash inside Halong Bay, and the government is trying to make sure that they don't keep polluting the water. So they pretty much put a fine on the cruise ship if they find out that you're buying buying from these people. But it was a super cool sight to see. We watched the lady literally go from a super far cruise ship, paddle all the way to our boat, try to sell us something, and I just felt so bad. I wanted to give her money, but I didn't want the cruise ship to get fined. So we ended up going to the sun deck to watch the sunrise and do some Tai Chi. So this is another activity that was included in the cruise, was some Tai Chi on the sun deck at sunrise, which was amazing. It's just a bunch of movements that you do. Tai Chi, some type of exercise that the Chinese people do, or Asians, and that was a cool experience to just do that in the sunrise before we went on our one adventure that we were gonna go on for the day. Wrapping up on Tai Chi, we finally end up at our last adventure, which is the surprise or sunset cave. This cave was crazy. Pretty much you go up and then down, and then you walk straight for a good amount of time, deep into this cave, and then you walk back out. It's not for the faint of heart. If you have a hard time walking, it will be difficult. The steps are very steep, and once you go in, you can't just go in and not come out. You got to come out. If you have any heart problems or knee problems like myself, it's really difficult. I would say probably don't try it and just stay at the boat and watch the views, but if you can make it, I would highly recommend it because it is included in the cruise. And while along this journey, every single meal was also included. So we had lunch the first day, dinner the second day, a light breakfast, and then a regular breakfast. So there was pretty much 3 meals and plus like appetizers or whatever, like a light breakfast. It was literally just like this little cookie and coffee and tea for that light breakfast. So really you had 3 meals that were actually like full meals that were included, and the food was amazing. Here's just some videos of some of the food that we ate. All of the meals were like served to you family style, just like Asian style. The only one that was a buffet was the breakfast on the last day that we ate right before deboarding the ship. Now that you know what the itinerary is, now let's talk about the room itself. The room itself is pretty small. It really just fits your king bed. But what was really awesome was we told them that this was our wedding slash honeymoon trip, because we did get this trip as a gift from my parents for getting married, and they put this cute rose petal towel demonstration with doves, swans, I don't know, on the bed. Plus they made us a cake. It wasn't that good, but it was a thought that counts, and it's just a really cool gesture. But the room itself is pretty small. It's just the bed, and then as far as the bathroom goes, there's a shower, a toilet, a sink, your basic bathroom. What I really loved about this bathroom was that there was a window that was like a pirate window, so it's like a circle and it just like spins. It is a real window. It was just like super old and piratey. I liked it, and you could look at the beautiful views while you're using the bathroom. I know I'm weird, but I really like that part. Even when you're taking a shower, you could like see outside. The best part about the room was definitely the balcony. If I didn't have a balcony, I probably would not have enjoyed that as much, because when you have a balcony, it's just nice. You get some privacy. Even though this cruise didn't have that much people in the restaurant itself, we didn't even fill all of the tables for all of the parties involved. I think really max there was like 30 people on the cruise, so it's not a huge cruise at all. I think there's max 14 rooms, and super intimate. As far as the food goes, they serve you really well, and that's pretty much what's included. There's the food, the cruise, and the activities that are included. And now the question you guys all been waiting for is, how much did it cost? So if I look at this Paradise Sails cruise, this was a part of a huge package that we did with the whole Asia trip. I personally didn't pay for the Paradise Sails by itself, but if I look on Viator.com, which is a company that sells this exact cruise that we went on, and you can see here, if I look at the availability right now, it starts at $372 for 2 people. So that's for 1 room. $372 is not bad at all. And if you divide that by 2, that ends up being $186 per person. And at the end of the trip, when we went to go consolidate our bill for 4 people, it was only $50. So we ended up only spending an additional $50 on top of this $372 for this trip. And for $186 for room, food, really good service, and activities, I would say it's 100% worth it. And if you have time, I would even go on a trip that lasts 2 nights and 3 days. Halong Bay is huge, and there's so much to explore in the bay. That's just amazing. If you end up doing the 2-night cruise, apparently you get to go to this floating village, the oldest floating village in Halong Bay. It's just really cool. I love seeing other cultures. I love just seeing how other people live, especially it makes me feel very grateful that we live in America, and these people are really hustling and struggling struggling out there, and something about it just makes you feel so grateful. But what I really love is that when you go to these more impoverished communities, they're so happy. Like, how are we in America making so much money and we're miserable? We're depressed, we got a mental health crisis, yet these people here aren't even making that much money. They're making less than $1 a day, and they're so happy. We're doing something wrong here. Anyway, this video is not about that. I could rant about that all day. This video is about the Paradise Isles cruise, and I have to say it's 100% worth it. So if you guys are thinking about going to Halong Bay, definitely recommend a cruise. Get that balcony. And again, if you want to see all of the excursions in depth, go ahead and watch the next video. It's going to be playing next. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video, and see you on the next video. Shoots!